day, month. All right, we good to go?
Okay. Yeah.
Just don't say anything if it's all okay, Jeremy. Well. No, he says I won't let him live stream, but it's being recorded, so
Okay.
that'll do. This is the May 2026 meeting of the Bylaws and Ethics Committee. It is 7:05 p.m. Call the meeting to order. We'll go around with introductions. I am Ryan Barthel, chair of the committee.
I'm Lisa Valella, member of the committee.
Jeanette Wilson, co-chair.
Okay, we don't have anything new, just something that we have to refine and vote on today. The conduct statement is on the agenda. If anyone has any questions, feel free to bring them up. Meeting minutes, still doing the video as minutes, so we're set there. And the main thing is the proposed bylaw amendments on attendance policy. We had some discussion on it a couple of months ago. It was presented to the full board. So now we just need to sort of refine the language. For the first part, that excused absences, both at the full board committee level, must be approved by the chair. I think Cynthia expressed some discomfort with that. I agree with that. I believe that what we came to, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, is that the excused absences should be notified. I'll follow up with Jeremy. I did ask him about that, about maybe setting up an absence email, because I feel like having staff dig through, if someone has a question, if there's something that someone wants to get into, I don't think that makes any sense to have staff dig through, but if there's an email address specifically set up for that, whether it's an official New York City government email or if it's just a Gmail account or something.
Just for absences?
Just copy someone, just copy that address on to say that you're going to be absent and this is the reason.
Brian, can you clarify who then would determine if it's an excused absence?
I think that I don't think that anyone should be.
I don't think anyone should be in charge of determining whether someone's absence is approved.
Yeah.
You know, 2 weeks ago when I didn't come because I literally fell asleep because I had such a bad headache. I fell asleep and, you know, to me that, I don't know if that would be considered an excuse. Can I say, oh, I fell asleep? No, but, you know, it does happen. And I think we're all adults and we've signed on to be part of a community board and
Ostensibly want to be here.
we should want to be here. You know, if there is excessive absence, maybe have a certain number of absences where we don't have to approve them, but they, you know.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally it's just been, if you just say, I'm going to be out, then that is considered excused. I don't believe that that's not written into the bylaws one way or the other. This way, saying that it needs to go to an email address and be, and have a reason, which I think that would be clarified, whatever the reason is, like I said.
It could be a personal reason you just don't want to share. I will not be at the meeting tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think to like Jeremy's equal employment case, he said that the prior chair had said, essentially, why don't you make your wife take care of the kids? You don't need to be doing this. Who wears the pants in this family or something like that? I don't want someone like that determining whether my absence is valid. I don't want to put it on someone like Cynthia, who I think, and I don't want her having to weigh one way or another, because I think that she would put thought into it. But either way, I don't think that any one person should have that power, and I don't think that most of them want it. And the people who do want it probably shouldn't have it.
I don't think that should be on Cynthia. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it's really no one's business why you're not coming.
There's that too. Yeah.
you know, we're all adults, and if we cannot make the meeting, we cannot make the meeting. That's it, but we do have to have some type of limit. We can't have someone coming to only, 20% of the meetings. So maybe doing a certain number of meetings.
Something like that is in there. There's something about, where is this? Officer removal. No, committee's too far. I should share this so you can, so folks online can see. So just looking at the removal procedures, consultation and input, a motion to institute removal proceedings, setting forth the cause for the proposed removal. Right, so you not attending meetings is cause for could be cause for removal, but you just have to, it has to be for cause. And if we have this thing set up where if every single time someone just says, I don't know, I don't want to speculate on what the reason might be, but
So do
having,
they, I'm sorry, I can't see this clearly. Does it specify how many absences?
this one just says removal for cause. There is,
I thought there was something, wait,
there's this one, yeah.
3 non-excused consecutive. That's a lot of meetings, full board meetings. If you miss 5, we only have 10.
Yep.
So if you're missing 50% of the meetings, that's a lot. I mean, unless there's some.
Some extenuating circumstance. But, generally, that's not so. Right, so cause may include, but is not limited to absences specifically for those causes, but may include, but is not limited to. So it could include absences, it could include more or less absences than this. So
So
it's well defined, but it's not.
I would like to talk about changing and making it just 3 total absences from full board meetings. That's 30% of the meetings. I think that's fair unless there's extenuating circumstances. But I think if you miss 3 meetings within the year, that's 3 out of 10. And then for the committee meetings, I would actually like to make that higher, because what if you are on 3 committees? Then that's, you can basically be absent one. Is it total committees or is it specific each committee? So if you're on 3 committees, are you allowed to be absent 3 times for each committee? Or I think it just has to be clarified.
So, I mean, there's a lot in the, like I said, this gives the appearance of being well specified, but it's not. So you may be removed. You can miss, if we look at, I don't want to go digging through attendance. There are several folks who have missed most of the meetings this year.
Okay.
And a point that's been brought up a couple of different times is, do we want to be the board that's removing members? We're already at
Right.
36.
So what I am going to say is this, I actually agree for the full board meetings with missing 3 because we only have 10 to attend. And I also agree that there should be specifications for the committee. I think that we're adults. We shouldn't commit to something that we can't do. And there are extenuating circumstances, but we've had ongoing issues with quorum because of excessive absences. I think that there have to be some realistic guidelines. I just did my reapplication for the community board, and it asks you, how much time do you have? And I'm going to be quite candid in saying the reason I am only on one committee is because I know my time constraints. I think we have to have some guidelines.
Well, so I guess, we aren't enforcing it. Both that and just because it says you may be, these are guidelines for what we would expect out of attendance, but we can also, if someone's serving on 3 committees, number one, that arguably shouldn't be, there are other boards that don't allow that, and you have something that comes up in a month, maybe all of your committees meet in 1 week and you're taking vacation that month or whatever.
Right.
It's perfectly reasonable. We don't have to bring someone up for removal for that. On the other hand, if we have someone who has an excuse for all of their meetings, but they miss all of their meetings, we can still bring them up for that. Just because these numbers are in here, or if we changed the numbers, changing the numbers is more just changing what we're projecting to people that we expect. But again, we've only removed one person. That person came to one committee meeting in September and was removed in February. I think it was
And
February.
they didn't come to any full board meetings?
They came to one committee meeting, and when asked for comment, they didn't give a comment, and then they spoke a little bit
Probably
later.
for this.
Yeah. And I don't want to discount that person's reasons, but we do try to reach out every month for each meeting, and we never got anything back. So it's very unusual that we remove someone. So we certainly can change the number. I think I don't know if that would be. I'm not entirely sure where these ones go, if they go in this section or not, probably.
I would think so.
Um,
I just think 5 absences for full board, that's half the meetings.
right, but if they miss,
And we're not considering if they're online. That's,
yeah. All I'm saying is that the 5 is there as a guideline, but it's not, you could bring someone up for removal for 4 if you wanted, for whatever reason, right? Because I shall not remove except in accordance.
right. I just don't want anyone to look at that and say, oh, I can miss up to 5 and then I'll be good. I just think the number 3, and using 3 absences from full board is acceptable. I mean, it's,
I think, I'm not thought, we can ask Jeremy what he thinks about this. I think that would have to be a separate amendment.
Okay.
But propose it so they can read it out at the next full board. And if not, we can go ahead and propose that, make that change. And like I say, I'm fine with it. So let's see. 5A1. It's 5 to 3. And then I guess have a place where we define excused or unexcused. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That should be enough. Footnote. Because that's effectively what this is doing, is talking about what is an excused absence, or how do you. Yeah.
Maybe we take out the word non-excused. Because to me, non-excused is if you just don't show up and you don't contact them.
Which is happens.
Yeah.
I mean, It's
So that to me would
uncommon.
be not excused, but if I email and I say I will not be at the meeting tonight, does that make it excused because I've contacted them?
That has been the procedure.
Okay. Judith, what do you think?
I think at the very least, someone should contact the office or Cynthia when they're not going to attend. If you're a no show and no contact, then how can it be excused?
Yeah, no, that's the way it's been. That's the way those terms have worked.
Okay, so
They're
now-
not defined in here and they're used in here, which is
Okay.
potentially problematic. But again, all of this is so squishy that it doesn't matter all that much. I don't love it being in removal.
Can we just make a second another article and put, attendance, or can we stick it under a different article?
Yeah, like I wonder if it is if there's anything under the meetings or
Maybe under hearings and meetings, sure. Oh, attendance.
yeah, so I think that so if
Can we remove it, take it out of the removal section and just put it in this attendance, so it's not as threatening? It's almost like,
so here's let me go through my whole train of thought. Number one, the borough president's office gave us a hard time for making so many bylaw amendments, which is running through the back of my head with all of this.
okay,
I don't care. We can make as many bylaw amendments as we want. They're our bylaws. We can do what we need to do. Number two, we're using these terms above this, and then if we, I think that it does make more sense to define present, absent, excused, or really excused absence or unexcused absence. It makes a lot more sense to have it in this section, both for the hearings and meetings and to not be under the removal. But then we should also really move that removal under this so that it's so that you're not using a term and then defining it later. What else is in that section? Which, then that's
you just pass removal.
did I think that was for officers. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Right. Not entirely sure how to square that, but are we all in agreement that these definitions make more sense both for the remote allowance and the effectively what we're doing is defining excused by saying that for an absence to be excused, a reason needs to be sent.
No,
Someone needs to be notified.
notified, not a we don't,
Yeah.
their reason.
So we don't want a reason, we just want a notification.
I mean, should people have to tell you why they're not coming? It could be a personal thing,
Yeah, everything could be lumped under personal, but yeah, I'm okay with not
I
doing
mean, I
it.
think
Like,
adults, I don't really need to know why, if you can't make it, there has to be a reason, or hopefully there's a reason and you're not just blowing it off.
So do we think it fits better in the members removal or in the hearings and meetings attendance?
Oh, can you scroll up a little? What is the article top members?
Yeah.
Maybe you just change removal
I mean,
to.
really, we should just get rid of this. This A doesn't make. Oh, my goodness.
Maybe just change removal.
This A probably didn't come in until later. Yeah, I think we get rid of that and define our attendance expectations under the hearings and meetings.
I think so. So then the removal section will only have the B section, and that'll turn to A. Yes? Okay.
Yeah, that's obviously a separate amendment that has to be presented, but we have to meet next month to approve the park's name change anyway. We don't have to, but that is coming up. So, Jeanette, any thoughts on that, on removing this? This first part, section A, section 5, clause A, doesn't really add anything, right? Because it says have to be removed for cause by a majority of appointed members. That is also in clause B or subsection B, clause 1, whatever. I don't know how these things work. Yeah, I don't think this A makes any sense here. I think it's duplicative. That's my proposal. Delete this section 5, clause A, and move our attendance expectations to all of them, these and the others, down to the other section. Any thoughts, Jeanette?
Wait, say that one more time. What did,
Shall not remove. So what we're basically doing is we're going to define everything in the attendance section. And then if there are 3 absences from any committee, that individual has the potential that they might be removed. Is that where we're at?
So, stepping back from the specifics, I think that A and B, I don't think that A adds anything. A puts some specifics around what we expect from attendance, but I don't think that this is the right place to do it. A still, if you step way back from it, it says you may be removed for cause, and one of those causes might be attendance. And then it goes on to define those, but I think that if we want to put what we expect out of attendance, whether it's the remote allowances or excused absences or the number of total absences from full board meetings, I think that all of those terms should be defined and they should be together. And I agree with the taking it out of removal and the sort of threatening. If you don't show up, then. And it can still be a cause. The cause could be that you're not meeting the attendance expectations as set out in. So to me, it makes more sense. I don't think that A adds anything to the removal proceedings. And if we're wanting to better specify our attendance policy, I think it makes more sense elsewhere. having it defined here also, I don't want, like you said, I don't want someone to think that they have like a bank of 5 full board meetings that they just miss. But if they miss 4 and all of their committee meetings, even if they're all excused, I don't want them to point to this and say, well, look, I've only missed 4 full boards and all of my committee absences have been excused, so
Right.
why would you kick me off? I think that this sets an expectation. And again, we're probably not going to. So putting it here,
I just feel it's a little more threatening
yeah, yes.
than,
It is. No, I mean that's what it is. It's not saying, look, this is what we're committing together to do. This is saying you do this or else.
right.
The or else
So
is
what
already
for
in here. Gallery will be hopefully soon.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we should move on to the attendance section and the changes we want to put there.
So the reason we started talking about this is I was trying to understand where this went, and that was so. I think that this can all be wrapped in. I don't, yeah, all wrapped into the attendance policy because we have to tell people what an excused absence is, and part of that is what is an unexcused absence, and we're already putting a number to remote allowance. So if we remove this from the removal section, it makes sense to place it in the attendance section as well. So that's why I was talking about it.
So technically someone, if we do the 3, they can miss 3 meetings and do 2 remote meetings. And still be technically fine. Which, I mean, is half the meetings.
Yeah, within our expectations.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when you sign up to be on the community board, you have to. You're agreeing that you will try to attend meetings.
It's on the chat. See if we can come up with something about that. Thank you, AI. I don't remember what she put in, but can't type. Back to here. So section 10, that
Okay, so we are. Oh, we have to bring this up to the full board to,
remove that.
from the removal section and put it in the attendance section. And bring it from 5 meetings missed to 3 meetings and to remote allowed. Is that what we are saying?
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeanette, are you in agreement?
Is it separate? That you can miss 3 meetings and you can only attend 2 remotely? It's 2 separate things, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then I am in agreement.
So I think that to get all of that in, so leave section 10 as it is and then add an A. No, so change shall be marked present, absent, unexcused, or absent excused. I think that's, yeah.
And we are defining excused as you have notified.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I think that we will probably add that into this text that already exists. So each member shall be marked present, absent, shall be marked present, absent, unexcused when no notice of the absence is given, no prior notice. Some people will do it after the fact, and I think that it should, well,
Right, if there's an emergency.
yeah, if there's an emergency, you got more important things to
Right.
think about. Absent, unexcused when no notice is given. Notice of the absence is given. Or absent, unexcused when notice is given. A record of each member's attendance shall be included in the minutes of each meeting. And then attendance expectations are as follows or something like that to lead into the, so we got this excused absence is basically gone, but then we'll have the remote allowances plus the pieces in 5A1 and 5A2. Okay. I wonder if Google will let me type on here. Just want to draft this so that it can be seen. Meetings 10, where are you? And I thought I was going home early tonight.
Well, after this, I don't think we have,
Yeah.
there's not much.
They don't like the Oxford column. And then we'll crib from above for this. I'm sure I'm also going to get to hear all about why this was done in section 5. But da-da-da. Yeah. Oh, now the wording doesn't quite fit. Attendance expectations, no more than, is that the way to start that?
Um, Okay, wait, can you
Yes.
minimize? Yeah, I can't see the whole thing. Maybe not put attendance expectation, the attendance policy. Because I mean, it's expected that they will show up.
Yeah. Still feel like there's a better way to say it. Policy.
Yeah. What you could do is put that into ChatGPT and say, please make this sound better. We can play around with the wording. We don't have to do it tonight. Just bringing it up at the meeting, at the full board, right? We have to discuss it at the full board. When we come up with, when you have to discuss minutes or what happened at the meeting. So we have the next 3 weeks to play around. We can email it back and forth to each other and decide what the best wording is.
Well, it's expected that board members attend all of their full board and committee meetings. We understand that circumstances may arise. Below
I'm
5 attended.
I'm gonna double check here. It
Yeah.
still says 3 non-consecutive.
Yeah, no, I just
3 non-
copied them. I just copied and pasted.
Okay.
Still trying to work on how to lead into it. But yeah, that would be
Don't
great.
stress yourself out now. We have time. We don't have to come up with something right now.
I'm getting hesitate to use the word harassed, but it's verging on that about doing things in back rooms. And technically, if we're talking about board business, it should be done in the meeting.
Okay,
We can.
it's just the word
Yeah.
that we're going back and forth and we can present it at the full board.
Do we really need to say that?
That's a little,
Too much.
that's too wordy. We understand circumstances.
I don't know that we need to say any of it.
Yeah.
Might be too much. Not that I see it. I mean, that's not an attendance policy. That's an absence policy.
Right.
That also.
Um, Board member attendance policy is as follows.
Mhm.
Make it very simple. Board member.
Well, the thing that, it's not, it's it's a policy on how we view absences rather than.
Well, as we're saying, attendance, whether
Yeah.
it's absence or present. Yeah, I think you can remember attendance policy because it's a general attendance when you're in school and they take attendance, it's you're there or you're not.
So, and when we get down to the next sections, it's talking about what is.
Yeah, because it's part of it's the attendance policy, so the attendance is present or absent, and you can say then 3 total absences from board meetings.
These are taken from the criteria for removal and they're worded as this is what happens. These are
Mhm.
what will get you removed. And that's not really an.
Right.
I mean, I like what you said about the attendance policy being like, we want you to be the attendance policy to show up.
I think board member attendance policy is as follows. A total of 3 absences. Or no more than 3 absences from full board meetings.
Either wording is good.
Using no more than 3 absences.
So what about more than more than 3 not unexcused? Yeah, I'm gonna switch it to that. I think that's the way that we do it on the thing too. See, right. Oh, there used to be. It's not here anymore because he just does that on a video.
How about no more than a total of 3 unexcused absences?
So what I was going to say is that more than X number of absences, fill in the wording from what's already up there or tweak it a little bit, could be cause for removal from the board or cause to begin removal proceedings. Then we're getting back into the threatening thing.
You wouldn't want to do that, just no more than 3, a total of 3 absences from full board meetings.
Well, but then again, we're getting away from. So the reason I don't love that is we're getting away from the expectation is that you're at all of the meetings. Excessive absences may be cause for removal, and I don't even know that we need to define it. Again, we know what.
I think that makes it hard if you don't define it, because then what determines what's excessive? 3, 5, 7.
It's
You
it's
have to define it, or people will put their own number to suit their own purposes.
ultimately it's up to the full board to vote on whether the board believes it. But I guess there is putting it in the bylaws does ostensibly put it in front of people's face as to what the number is. What's the goal? The goal is not to remove people. We want people on the board. The goal is to let people know what the expectation.
Actually, I think the goal should be to have people on the board that actually want to be on the board.
No, that's true too. Who show up,
Okay,
participate.
so I don't think the goal is, I think that we want people on the board that actually want to be on the board. And if they demonstrate by their behavior that that might not be the case, then we're not making the decision for them. They're actually making their own decision. I think there is such a thing as going so far in the opposite direction that we can't come up with guidelines so that people can follow them and we can actually have better, more productive meetings.
So I guess I'm seeing it as we've got a couple of different options. I kind of like saying more excessive or more than X number of absences may be cause for removal proceedings, or we can just stick with more than the attendance policy. I didn't stick that back in here. But board member attendance policy is more than no more
I
than.
thought we had agreed on 3 unexcused absences. Are we now throwing that out?
We're gonna put excessive more than 3.
So I'm trying to. I'm trying to find where the line is between being threatening, but also letting people know that, hey, this is serious.
I don't think we're being threatening, Ryan. I disagree with that. I think that you have actions and then there are consequences for actions. We're not being threatening. We're giving them guidelines. And we're letting them know what the consequences can be of their decisions. That's not a threat. It's simply saying, you said you wanted to be on the board. You said you had time to be on the board. These are the guidelines.
And this is no longer.
I personally get tired of sitting at a meeting waiting for quorum.
True.
Like, shouldn't we have some kind of guidelines and show that we can be definitive as a board?
So
That's
I
not
do-
punitive.
I do have a issue with the word, are we saying consecutive? 3 in a row, or, I mean, if they miss October, January, and now the word unexcused, so if I email Jeremy every month and say, I can't come to the meeting, I can't come to the meeting, technically I'm excused.
Well, now that I'm reading this again, that's weird wording because the first one says 3 non-excused consecutive or
Total.
3 for, yeah, no.
It used to be 5.
No, so the first and second bullets,
Oh, more than 3, no,
right? Because
no, one is,
this and this don't really change anything. Why do you have consecutive? It's unnecessary.
yeah, I don't.
More than 3 unexcused, non-excused consecutive. Oh, because that was 5. That's
Yeah,
this
we
was
had that number.
4.
Well, I'm going to now respond to something that Lisa said because I think you have a point there. Maybe we have to have guidelines for both. What if somebody has, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 excused absences? Does making 3 meetings a year okay? Do we want to perhaps say something like 3 excused or no, 3 unexcused or 5 excused?
Honestly, I think 3 meetings. Unless there's extenuating circumstances, that's 30% of the meetings you're missing.
I agree. Maybe we should use that. No more than 3 missed meetings unless there are extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
That's being fair.
There's
I'm
only
good
10
with that.
meetings. And we know exactly when the meetings are.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter with whether they're consecutive or non-consecutive. 3 meetings out of 10, I think, and I agree, is a fair number.
You're talking about 3 meetings and it. I mean, it's not 10. It's going to be 20 for anybody.
No, I think full board meetings and committee meetings should be separate. That's
Yes.
how I feel.
Yes.
Board meetings are big meetings. Those are 2 hours.
So this one that I
Sometimes.
was typing is aligned with what you're saying.
Yes, I would say full board meeting.
This is 3 unexcused from committee meetings or 3 from full board. Or should it be 5 from committees because people can
Yeah,
potentially serve on multiple
So,
committees.
Per committee. Per committee, because if I'm on 3 committees, then I'm only allowed 1 absence for each one. So I would say 3 unexcused absences per committee.
From a committee's meetings.
Okay. excessive more than 3 unexcused absences from a committee. I don't know if the grammar's right on that one, the committee's meetings.
Yeah, that's. So. That, I feel like that's a more concise way of saying per. 3 unexcused absences from committee meetings per committee. I think that from a committee.
From the committees, yeah,
Meetings,
okay.
the meetings that the committee holds. And then. What do we have on that?
And then I'll be doing something with a,
Yeah,
remote. Just 2 remote allowances a year. That's what is written here.
yeah, I mean, that was,
I like that, 2 remote allowances per year. Is remote attendance is limited to 2 per year?
I mean, it's. Technically not true, you can attend, then you just start being unexcused.
Jeanette, what do you think about for remote attendance? I think remote attendance is limited to 2 per year.
I think that that is good. I think the only exception, I think that, I don't know if by law for individuals that have an actual disability,
Right.
if they have issues, we may not be able to limit that.
No, that's, yeah, that's. Like you count toward quorum tonight.
Yeah.
It's important,
I,
right? Like,
I
you
think
have-
there, I think that's the only exception, that there is reasonable accommodations for individuals that have disabilities.
Exemption or?
I think it's only, I'm thinking, is it only medical or should it be without?
I think you have to put disability, because that's what it actually is.
Qualifying disability? Do I want to
Yes,
say qualifying? That probably doesn't
yes,
work.
without a qualifying disability.
It's limited to 2 meetings.
Yeah, it's limited to 2 meetings per year.
Yeah, I-
Qualifying disabilities limited to 2 meetings per year, remote meeting attendance beyond this. Comma. Accepting or accept?
Except in extenuating circumstance, accepting.
Okay, will be considered, okay. All right, I like it.
Yeah. We'll send an email around, and I mean, I'm sure there will be notes.
Okay.
This is the first draft and
But that takes care, and then have to add, I mean, I can send that in to get rid of the section 5 and the, you know, whatever, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like Lisa said, we still got some time. I
Mhm.
imagine that this is a substantial enough reworking that it'll have to be represented, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of changes here, so
yeah,
and again, we're probably going to be here next month anyway, so
Mhm.
okay,
may as well, doesn't hurt us to
Okay.
put it out there again.
okay.
Anything else on this for now, or just think about it until?
I think we're good. I think it's also, I appreciated the fact that we balanced one another out.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's the point of having a committee, even if
Mhm.
we're small and dwindling.
Mhm.
All right. If nothing else, we can move to gallery, and I can stop sharing.
Okay.
Can I stop sharing? How do I do that? Not participant panel. Oh, there it is. Okay. Do we have anyone in the gallery who'd like to speak? I see Rosola Amy.
Okay. Oh,
Go ahead, AJ. And if you have something, if you would like me to call you something else
Me?
instead of using your,
Hello,
Uh,
can you hear me?
I can.
Sorry, it kept kicking me out of the meeting. I don't know if it's my service. I just got out of class. I'm just going to go quick what I wrote. I believe it's reference to what you guys are just talking about.
Yep.
The board should be seeking compliance with the laws and oaths they have taken, not loopholes or ways out of them. If the kitchen is too hot, leave it and open up the seats for others. You are actually doing a disservice to the community by holding on to them, not letting other voices or people take over the empty spaces. Not showing up or simply showing your face is a true public service and a slap in the face of the community you are supposed to be representing. It might explain why no one really comes out of these meetings, as of those who are appointed to represent it don't even want to show up and do the work they voluntarily signed up for and swore to. It really makes one question why they are even here in the first place. Is it ego? Is it the limelight or fame that comes with being on the board? But optics wise, an empty seat due to no attendance mandate, making sure that board members actually show up, kind of perfectly describes this board and all the missed deadlines, no quorums, plus drop balls coming out of it. Most boards, including with the BP's oath that you guys swore to on BronxNet when every term, says you guys have to come to meetings. The whole point of meetings is to come hear this community. If you guys aren't doing quorum or even just showing up, why are you even bothering being on the board? As somebody that's not on the board, I just don't understand how this is acceptable. And it kind of sounds like today you're trying to make ways to allow it. But if the person doesn't want to be here, there's no way to force them to be here. Just empty out the seat, let somebody else get appointed. There's 50 seats on this board. I know that it's not all the way filled up to 50. That could be due to politics with the city council members shifting or the borough president. But
Yes.
at what point does the community get represented? If you guys are here to represent us aren't even showing up, what do we do? How are we supposed to feel? These are our tax dollars being literally wasted on empty meetings. There's 10 meetings a year, 2 off for the summer, 5 excused absences. Like, come on now, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
thank you.
I do concur with the person that just spoke. I mean, if the person wants to be on the community board, they should be showing up to meetings, and the committee responsible, the bylaws, should not be afraid to make decisions. You're not forcing them to come. Their actions would decide whether they want to be on the board. So if you're not showing up to the meetings after you volunteer to be on a committee, that means that you're not committed to serve the public that you swore that you will serve. So I do concur with the last person that just spoke.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Sadly, I do not live in Community Board 11. In full disclosure, I'm down in 7. I'm an independently credentialed member of the press out of the Mayor's Office of Media Entertainment. I'm currently a historical preservation master's student at Columbia University. I don't have the time to do the board. That's why I love watching these guys and seeing what's going on in the neighborhood or not going on. Thank you so much.
If you wanna, you still have time to speak, Olusola, if you'd like to continue.
No, I'm done. I was just saying that I do believe that you all should not be afraid to make the decision. So it's not. And also, there's one thing that I would also like to add. I feel like you don't. There should be a reason. If you are not able to make the meeting, there should be a reason. You don't need to go down into the deep detail as to why you cannot make the meeting, but you should be able to give a reason. I have a family emergency. I have to work late. I don't need to know what exactly the family emergency is, but you should give a reason. No reason, because it could be that I just don't feel like going to a meeting today, and I just send an email or notify somebody I cannot make it to a meeting. But okay, we have to be held accountable. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. You made some good points.
All right, I would like to point out that we did, rather than loosening, we did tighten the restrictions or the expectations and these rules that we were talking about tonight, so. Moving forward for motions, we're gonna have to bring this back to the full board and then hopefully we won't have to talk about it next month. But we'll also, if there are any refinements, see them on the full board agenda at the end of the month. Any old business? New business? All right, move to adjourn.
Okay. 8:08.
Meeting adjourned at 8:08. Thanks for
Have a
coming.
good night, everyone. Be safe.
Good night.
All right, you too.
Good night, everybody. Thank you again.
Nice.